Hello and welcome to LAKERLAND, where you hear some thoughts from some Laker fans. I am Christian. Alongside of me is my left-hand man, Matt. What they do?
What's goody? What's goody? We here.
Yes, we are. And today we are talking, what the conversation has been about for the last few shows now, last few episodes. We're still talking about free agency, man. You said it's the most wonderful time of the year. You actually sang it. But is here, and it might be done. I think we're nearing the end. We're really close to the end. All the big moves are out the way, so I think it's just about the right time to talk about not only the Lakers moves, but some of the other moves these teams have been making, whether it's been trades or free agency or even some of the draft picks. So today we are going to go over every team, 30 teams, and say just a quick answer. A simple answer, maybe a little conversation about it. But did they get better or did they get worse? Simple premise. We don't got to give the whole. They got an A- from me. I'm not doing all that. Are they better or worse? Did they pass? Did they fail? And I think it's only right. We're gonna go alphabetical order for the other ones. It's only right we talk about, the only team that matters first, the LA Lakers. So let's talk about it, man. Let's see our additions. Let's see our subtractions, because we had a little bit of everything. So to kick it off with what we acquired by trade, Dennis Schroeder, Alfonso McKinney. And then we got Jordan Bell, but we waived him. And then the free agents we signed, Wesley Matthews, Montrezl Harrell. What's up?
McKinney didn't get waived?
He did not get waived. He's a wing. I've not been able to do my research on him yet, but he's a wing. He used to play for the Warriors.
I remember his play style. I remember him. He's not terrible, but
he's a 3-and-D guy. He's long, like he got arms. I don't know. He'll be somewhere on the back of the bench, but maybe we can use him in the cut. He's young. I'm definitely gonna. I meant to look up highlights during my break, but I actually didn't get a break today. I had a nice 10 minutes where I had to scarf down food. So, but yeah. So we got McKinney. Then the free agents we signed is Wes Matthews, Montrezl Harrell, Marc Gasol. And then the one staying, obviously, Caruso, THT, LeBron, Kuzma, KCP. Hold on. We're talking about KCP real quick.
Not the bread.
This is the bread from heaven, bro.
Okay.
I'm going to drop it on the floor. I just had to talk about the bread from heaven, you know what I mean, that rained down on the Israelites. But that's what KCP was.
Exactly.
So we also got, I'm not trying to talk about Markieff Morris. We got him back, baby. What do you think about getting Markieff back before I choke on this bread? Tell me how you feeling.
Nah, that was key, bro, especially like losing all these bigs that we had lost, JaVale, Dwight. Like, Markeith's not necessarily big, but he played kind of like that big man role. Like, he would do his job, defend, rebound, and then he provided scoring too. He could shoot, he stretches the floor, and he was a big reason that's why we were so successful in the playoffs. So it's great to have him back.
Yeah, and we were talking about it off air, but we had a few big men leave us. We'll get into all that right now. The people leaving us this year is Danny Green. That's another piece of bread from heaven. He's out of here. JaVale McGee traded to Cleveland. Quinn Cook got waived. Dwight Howard left to Philly in a weird way. And then we don't know if we're getting, the Dudleys and even the Smiths, the Waiters back, but we also lost Bradley to Miami and Rajon Rondo to the Hawks. So we lost a good amount, man. We did. A little bit of turnover in this roster. As far as right now, our roster is Caruso, THT, LeBron, Kuz, KCP, Morris, Matthews, Harrell, Gasol, Schroeder, and McKinney. So it's a real good squad.
I think for the most part, this was expected last year when we was putting a team together in that whole scramble. Signing a bunch of one-year deals, and we knew we're gonna lose pieces. Even if we turned out to be successful, it's just probably just by like the law of nature, it was gonna happen. Some people was gonna drop off. Like, it would have been nice to see Avery Bradley stay, because I feel like his value is still immensely high right now in terms of defense and just
He
more
was
perimeter scoring that he can do.
he was a steal of the deal too. I mean, Miami offered him another year, but the fact we're paying KCP about 13 mil, and Bradley's out there getting 6, and like the drop off isn't that big. You know what I mean? The defense for Bradley is way better than KCP. The shooting, yeah, I would probably notch that to KCP for sure. But like a $7 million drop off is a lot.
It is, but I must say I'm kind of surprised by Avery Bradley just because I feel like just watching him play and like his play style and like the energy he plays with, it just seems like he's so passionate about the game to the point where how do you pass up all these championship opportunities? It would seem like something like that would bother him, but I guess not. I don't know. Because then he's about to come to the playoffs. Now he don't want to come back to a championship team. And I understand like that might be circumstance and like I get it, but I don't know.
I'm sure he got his own situation going on. He seems like a guy that, in general, might have been a little more disconnected from the team, which, you know, I mean, everybody's not going to be that family bond, even though I do believe this. Almost everybody on the squad had that. But in general, with Bradley, he's going to a culture where it's like defensive minded, just like us. You know, it's not like he's going to some. If he was going to like the Indiana Pacers or something weird like that, I would definitely look at the move a little funny. I still am looking at the move a little funny, but at the end of the day, I really don't know what Lakers were going to offer him to begin with, because I think we wanted to keep KCP because of the run he just gave us in the playoffs.
And then that's when we waived McKinney.
Yeah, but also then we got Caruso, Bradley, KCP, Schroeder. It's a lot of guard play. You know what I mean? Not to mention Wes Matthews. I forgot about him. It's a lot of guard play. So I get it. Bradley, at this point, you know what I mean? It's the cost of it's the cost of goods for me. It is what it is. But what I do want to talk about, Keith, I'm really excited to have him back. He was important, especially we are slim in the big men. And we've seen Keith even play a little bit of small ball 5 when it came down to the Rockets. Or I still think he can do that when it comes to some of these other teams, because not many of these teams have a bully of a center. Even Jokic is more like a finesse center. But the real bullies who are centers are who? Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns is a bigger center for sure.
You forgetting a sleeper. My son on the Mavericks who gets no burn, Boban.
Oh, my God. You kidding me? Boban, we need a freaking 8-footer on him. You kidding me?
That's what I'm saying. There's teams that are going to have real centers, bro. Like, and I feel like we can't depend on one center that's, like, up there in age to hold it down throughout the whole season and playoffs.
Yeah, let's talk about that center, man, because when we were talking about it before we got Marc Gasol, we were getting excited when we heard other teams were interested in him, which obviously ended up biting us in the behind because now Bull is a Laker. Marc Gasol is a Los Angeles Laker. I'm conflicted. I still am. I lean on two sides of the pendulum. How are you feeling?
Well, all right. So I didn't want Marc Gasol off the fact that it seemed like they were aiming for him to be our focus, like starting center. Like that's gonna be our center. And I don't really like that just because I feel like in that case I'd rather just keep JaVale because he did his role pretty okay. Like, and I feel like he's more reliable at this point in his career than Marc would be because I don't even how many games did he play last year? Did he get hurt? I feel like he
got hurt last season, but besides that, he's pretty good shape, and he did come back to the bubble.
Good shape, bro. And here's the upside, right? He's in good shape, former DPOY, right? Fits into that mold, and I feel like the way this team is set up, like you mentioned it before, like we did the same thing for Dwight, and you know what I'm saying? If you just put him in a position where he could be successful, I feel like he can thrive at that. So, I mean, it's something that can grow on me, but not having a backup is very worrisome. Not gonna lie.
So I have a few takes on this. Marc Gasol, I'm definitely warming up to the fact. And when it comes to Rob Pelinka, I am in his stan club at this point. We send out newsletters. We send out like letters to each other basically every day of the week. Just it's sometimes we conversate through email. We have a Facebook chat, and I don't even be on Facebook. But that's how I feel about Rob Pelinka. So I'm going to defend every move he does at this point because he's earned that respect and credibility for me. I'll add you in the chat if you want, Matt. I got you. Good people's in there. Good people's in there. But yeah, so as soon as we signed Marc Gasol, I went from not wanting him at all to, oh, this is the perfect fit. is that legit your screensaver? No, right?
Nah, it's just a flicker.
Oh, I was about to say, bro, if that's your screensaver, you're perfect.
It might be.
I mean, let's see. Still got a few more moves to make. But
I'm saying.
I went from being like lukewarm on Marc Gasol to maybe he's the perfect fit. Rob Pelinka knows what he's doing. And then I started seeing some footage of Marc from last year. And little things that he does is going to help us out in so many ways. And it's not only as aspect of him getting his, it's going to help us get ours. And little things like he can legit, on a fast break, I seen him on a fast break instead of going straight to the hoop, go to the wing and knock down a three as a 7-footer.
All right, so let's talk about it, bro, because, all right, let's think about it like this, right? I feel like with any Laker fan, if they have any type of funny feeling about this move, let's just face it, it's about the age, right? But if we just think about the Lakers culture as of lately, I feel like age don't even matter anymore. You know what I'm saying?
We just revitalized like 3 people's careers.
Exactly. So
Bradley before us, Bradley was injury prone. He's not the same person he was on the Celtics. Rajon Rondo is he's done. He's done out the league damn near. Dwight Howard, he was done. Dunzo, bro. 3 careers just like that, revitalized. And Marc Gasol contributed and real life contributed to a championship just 2 years ago.
That's true. Oh wait, so he got a ring from Toronto?
From Toronto, yeah. He was a starting center.
And if we really comparing him to our previous center, JaVale, almost in every aspect, it's a plus. Defense,
plus.
Technically, shooting, he stretches the floor.
He's a better rebounder if you want to be real. Skill-wise, yes, he's a better rebounder.
He's a better rebounder, and he just has a better touch around the rim.
We lose in the athleticism. That's true. But we have Anthony Davis. And also, that's what I'm excited for. If Marc Gasol, which is leaning like he's probably going to be our starting center, if he is our starting center, the space clears up so much on the floor. Like, if LeBron wants to get to the rim, he can now. So I'm excited to see how that works because we haven't had that. We had to go so small in order to get that, and it was beautiful every time.
How do you feel about Wesley Matthews coming off the bench?
I don't know if he will be coming off the bench. Are you talking about the Dennis Schroeder comment? Yeah, let's talk about that, man. Because Dennis Schroeder commented on a post and that said, oh, they got 2 6 men. This is going to be a crazy bench or something like that. And he commented starter with an asterisk.
Yeah, so, like, obviously, when these moves happen, they have conversations with Rob, with Frank, probably with LeBron and AD, right? They have these conversations as to, I mean, training camp is in, like, what, next week?
6 days.
Yeah, next week. So you got to get it together right now. I'm pretty sure they're figuring out lineups and all that. It's like every day. So, I mean, is anything going to change? I don't know. But right now it's looking like Dennis Schroeder might be a starter. I'm going to take his word over anybody else.
I get it. And I wouldn't even mind if he's a starter. In my head, I see the starting lineup, the perfect starting lineup right now being Bron, KCP, and Wesley Matthews. I feel
that emulates our last season.
It does, but it's
formula.
It fits the formula perfectly, and especially in a short season, in a shortened off season, it just makes sense. But you know what? Maybe we'll have a better formula with Schroeder in it. I believe in Frank. I believe in him to make the right adjustment, no matter what. And I do like the idea of Trez and Schroeder running the unit like Lou, Will, and Harold did before. So
that's what I was thinking, but I guess they got different plans.
I'm going to be honest. What I don't like is Dennis Schroeder commenting that, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just – that to me, that showed, like, ego a little bit.
No, it definitely does. But that he has that, though. I think we know that about Dennis Schroeder. He has, like, a chip on his shoulder. He has an attitude when he plays. Like, he has an energy about him. So, I mean, if that translates into buckets, I'm not going to complain about it.
If it translates, I'm fine. But the problem is last season, everything was about knowing your role and being the best in your role.
For him.
I don't
Or
for the Lakers. You know,
for the
Dudley
Lakers,
was the best in his
for
role.
him too. I feel like for him, too. So that's why I'm a little confused on that comment, because I feel like somebody like him who came off of a Thunder team who had way less talent than us, and he came off the bench for that team. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
It's like he accepted that role, but it's like now he's like, it's just weird to me. I don't know. But if that's the game plan, that's the game plan. I mean, we have backup guards anyway, so.
Like, they asked Trez the same thing, and Trez basically said, listen, I came off the bench. I've been one of the last men on the bench. I'm going to do what coach asked me to do. And I was like, all right, that's the answer I want. The whole I'm a starter, when he just came off a season of not starting, it might rub me the wrong way, but he might even just refer to it as, yeah, I'm coming off the bench, but refer to me like I'm a starter, like I'm that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
he might even meant it like that.
I would like it if it was like that, but let's face it, bro. The whole starter thing is overrated.
Absolutely. It's not about who starts, it's about who finishes.
It's about finishing the game. That's like the real lineup, the death lineup, the kill lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the lineup you want to be in, because that's the lineup that gets it done. Like last year, who was it for us? Braun. Sometimes it was Caruso. Sometimes it was KCP. AD.
Did you say Kuz?
Would Kuz be there?
He was there for some games. When it came to the playoffs, we saw Keith. Sometimes we had to see Green. I'm just saying some of the players that finished the games. You know what I mean? Last year, it was very.
It was never a center, though.
Yeah, never really a center. I mean, we had some games in the beginning of the year where Dwight closed it out, but we got to a certain pattern where it wasn't really that. Mm-hmm. But Vogel usually goes with the hot hand, and that's what I like. I kind of like that any given moment, bro. If KCP is having an off day, when KCP's off, he's off. If coach is like, nah, I need West in there instead, and I need Caruso for his defense.
So what do you see being the kill lineup for this roster? The
kill lineup I would see is Dennis Schroeder, LeBron James, Harrell, Davis, and then that third one is the last one is really KCP. Swappable. It's KCP, Caruso, maybe on random days Wesley Matthews, but I would probably lean KCP, which leaves Kuz in the hanging to dry. Like, I don't know. Maybe even Kuz gets in that conversation as well. Like, it's tough. It's really whoever got the hot hand.
I like it, though.
I got no complaints. I think that's – bro, I am so excited for the addition of Harrell. It is going to be such a blast to watch, especially when we got AD on the 5, Harrell on the floor with shooters all over. And Braun running a pick and roll with Harrell, like, that's just – might as well just put 2 on the board. Like, that's it. Yeah, and I like that he gets to the line. Like, I feel like sometimes we didn't have that. We lacked last year in getting to the bucket. Like, we scored a lot within the 3-point line, but we didn't get to the bucket. We lacked in drives. Montrez is going to do it all by himself.
Yeah, and Schroeder gets to the bucket too.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's one thing that's like a difference from last year, is last year we wasn't sure who was going to show up like offensively. We had no idea. And like this year, like, we're not going to know for real, but we know somebody's going to have it. No, somebody between Harrell, Schroeder, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Kuzma, and KCP.
It's, bro, if you want to be real, it's incredible. The fact that we pulled this off with no salary cap to spend. We had 0 to spend of salary cap. We spent hard cap, but we spent, that mid cap room, whatever you want to call it. No salary to spend. We got Dennis Schroeder off of a trade for Danny Green and a bag of chips. I do not know who the Thunder selected with their 28th pick. I could not tell you. Pointless. It's for the Birds and Danny Green. He's out of here. He couldn't even make it to Thunder. He landed in OKC, and they shipped his ass to Philadelphia. It is looking so good for us. So I asked you the question, the segment that we're going to do, and we can get right to it. Are Lakers a better team, or are they a worse team?
Definitely a better team. Without
Oh
no
man,
discussion.
yeah. All that to answer the fact that we are without a doubt a way better team than last year, which is scary.
Because we're chipped, bro. We're the champions. We got like 3 times better.
And there was a whole thing going. That's why the whole time during the off season or even the end of last season when it seemed like Lakers were going to get the chip, there was a whole thing. Well, all these teams are going to get better. That was the whole idea. And if you want me to be real, I haven't seen many teams get better. And if they did, they grown an inch. We just grew a mile. So we might be repeating. Let me put my charger real quick. We might be repeating. It's looking pretty good, but I want to cover all these other teams that are making moves. We don't really got to talk too much about the trash ones. Maybe we cover a little bit of them for a few seconds, and we can move right on. I want to start off by one of the busiest teams this offseason, and they still might not be done. They might have another edition by the end of this day. We're talking about the Atlanta Hawks.
They've been working.
They've been working, man. Trae Young said he wants to be in the playoffs, so he's looking like it. They acquired a few people by trade. I'm not going to go over everybody they got. A lot of these people don't really matter. They did lose a few people, but it's again, nobody of significance. Jeff Teague, Vince Carter retired, Skal Labissiere, like none of those people really matter too much, but they gained Danilo Gallinari, Chris Dunn, Rajon Rondo, Solomon Hill, nice swing. And then they also, by the end of the day, might have Bogdan Bogdanovic. Real quick, what do you think of what the Hawks been doing?
I don't think they know about regular season Rondo, so that's gonna be a surprise for them. I think.
Well, they do have Trae Young's gonna get all those minutes. First of all, I don't see Rondo and Trae
Well,
playing.
yeah, I mean, he didn't get a whole lot of minutes from us either, but he managed to do a lot of damage. So
He got a few minutes, right?
yeah, so I mean, they don't know about that because all of the attention was on the playoff Rondo thing, which is good for him, get your bag. But you know what I'm saying? They're gonna find out. But the rest of the pieces there. Sheesh. Gallinari, Bogdanovich by the end of the day, hopefully for
That's a
them.
squad that might shoot you out, like completely out of any type of
Trey
comeback.
Young? Nah. Collins
Ah,
tough too.
Collins,
They're gonna be
Capella's still there from last year. We didn't get to see much of him because it was after the trade deadline and then the world shut down. Capella's there too, an athletic center, a young athletic center. It's interesting for Collins, man. I mean, for the Hawks. I'm really excited to see them. So I asked you the question, did they get better or worse? I think we both have a unanimous answer for this one.
Yeah, definitely better. 10
Yeah,
times better.
for sure. So let's go to our rival team, one of our rival teams, the Boston Celtics. They didn't really gain much. They lost Gordon Hayward and Enes Kanter. And then they gained Tristan Thompson and Jeff Teague, along with some picks that I don't really know off the top of my head, like value-wise. So I asked you the question, Celtics, as far as free agency goes, did they get better or did they get worse? Losing Kanter, gain Thompson, lost Gordon Hayward, gain Teague.
I'm gonna say they got better. Because I mean, it's not like they lost anybody crazy. Gordon Hayward wasn't crazy buckets for them. You know what I'm saying? So I think they'll be fine. Losing Hayward. Thompson is a big pickup for them. And replacing that with Enes Kanter, because, I mean, Kanter is a good big man, low-key, but I feel like
He can't guard anything, man.
Yeah, what they need from a big man, though, Thompson can provide in that. And, hey, you said they got Jeff Teague?
Yeah, they signed Jeff Teague as a backup.
Coming off of Kemba is a great pickup for them because I think he's an underrated point guard as well. So definitely got better, and especially since they had extended playoff experience. Tatum and Brown is looking good. So
this is a situation where I do believe they got better, but if you want to be real, it was almost like an unproductive free agency. They could have done a lot better. This is a team that's been sitting on so many picks. There's a bunch of people that are trying to get off of their team.
if I'm the Celtics, bro, there's not much I want to change about the team, though. I feel like You need a big man, like a reliable big man. They did that. They got a point guard in Kemba Walker, and they just got a backup point guard. And I think their backup point guard before that was like Wanamaker. So that's an upgrade.
Yeah. So yeah, they did get better. I feel like they think they're a lot closer than what they are, and I feel like they're still trying to almost rebuild or finish out their rebuild when they can be a contender right now. Especially, it's not like before. Like the NBA is open, except Lakers are about to put a lock on that. But the NBA in theory is open. It's not like the Warriors before. And when you got the Nets coming in hot, who we're gonna get to right now, Nets coming in hot. Some of these East teams, Sixers made moves. You know what I mean? Raptors are gonna be Raptors. The Bucks made some moves. You keep trying to do these small steps when the people around you are climbing mountains, and you might end up in the bottom of the hill. So we'll see though. We'll see. Talking about the Brooklyn Nets, they were decently active. I thought they were going to be a lot more active. This is a team also that I was expecting to hear a little bit more noise from, but at the end of the day, they have a lot of good pieces already. Plus, we didn't get to see Kyrie and Kyrie play at all. Kyrie, yes, but together at all last season to even see the fit. So I believe they did the right thing this year. They got Bruce Brown, Landry Shamet, and then Jeff Green. And then as far as who they lost Garrett Temple, but that was really the only person. Wilson Chandler, that was really it. But this is an easy
question about if they got better. So
yeah, this is an easy one. Landry Shamet was a good pickup. Nets are looking super deep, and that was the thing. If they were to trade for Harden, they would lose all their depth. And right now, between Karis LeVert, Dinwiddie, Landry Shamet, Jeff Green, Jared Allen, these are all people that are just part of your depth that you're adding on to the combination of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. I'm sure I missed a few people. Joe Harris. They kept on to Joe Harris, which that alone wins free agency. You know what I mean? For them.
they still got DeAndre Jordan too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, they big body in the East right now. Roster-wise.
Look out for them. They might be our main competition. Our favorite team, Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
I don't know how to even judge this team, bro. I mean, they lost they lost Dwayne Bacon and Willie Hernan Gomez. Yay. They got LaMelo Ball.
They got better though, bro. They did.
And they got Gordon Hayward. They signed him to a crazy deal, but who's gonna come to the Charlotte Hornets? I get it.
Exactly.
They might be fighting for an AFC this year.
Hey, a top 3 pick, that's already increasing your chances, and then you scoop somebody who's not really buckets like that, but he's something. Like, he can do something on a trash team. So, I mean, they got better. They're not gonna make the playoffs. I don't see it happening.
They can squeeze. It's the East Coast.
No,
I would have to think
Hawks getting better, and
who made it last. Magic made it last year, and I would have to look at
take Magic out of there, bro.
What happened?
The Hawks is gonna take Magic out of there.
And then who was 7? 7, I think, was the Nets. I don't know. It's a lot tighter in the East than what people make it seem.
No, because the East is improving.
Yeah, but at the same time, especially if they're implementing that little play-in game, you never know.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have a team sneak in there.
I think they say they're going to implement that, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is a team that is just a full-on disaster. Chicago Bulls. Bro, they drafted Patrick Williams 4th. That was a big pick, but I don't know who that is. Like, that was a surprise to many people when that happened. And then they picked up Devon Dotson and Garrett Temple. Like, they lost Chris Dunn. What happened?
Dotson from the Knicks?
Yeah. No. I think that's Dwayne Dotson from the Knicks. I don't know who Devon Dotson is. Oh, he's undrafted.
Wow.
Exactly. So they only really picked up Garrett Temple and lost Chris Dunn. How do you still lose? They still got worse.
Yeah. They didn't really do nothing, bro.
And the fact that the East got better means they got worse. So just skip this. They only got Garrett Temple. Cleveland Cavaliers. Bro, this list is terrible. This is the shortest list I've seen so far. Crap, man. So they acquired JaVale McGee. And they lost. Ironically, they picked up the Dotson from the Knicks. But they lost McKinney, Bell, Dellavedova. I didn't know he left. I thought he resigned. Dellavedova, Tristan Thompson, and Zizic.
Cavs got to be one of the worst organizations in sports history, bro.
Bron really carried these guys to a ring.
They didn't get blessed with LeBron James, bro. Imagine their history.
Bro, they lost Tristan Thompson and a bunch of other people and got back JaVale McGee.
OD. I mean, JaVale about to go crazy.
I might have to pick him up my fantasy team this year, bro.
Nah, he's going to go crazy, bro. I already know. JaVale's the type like that, bro. Real Laker.
He might. Oh, I forgot they got Kevin Love and Andre. Never mind.
Kevin Love.
JaVale's not getting no burn.
Damn.
Kevin Love and Andre Drummond, I forgot they got them. But either way, when it comes to free agency, they just got worse. They didn't do anything, man. They didn't even try.
Yeah, bro. They just suck. I feel like they never tried for anything, though.
How the hell they got two former All-Stars on their team right now? That's crazy.
They need to hire LeBron as a GM when he retired.
Oh, man. Let's talk about this team. Let's finally go to the West just a little bit. The Dallas Mavericks. Acquired by trade, Josh Richardson from the 76ers, James Johnson from Minnesota. Then they picked up Wes Iwundu, which is our Orlando wing, but that's really it. They lost Seth Curry, lost Justin Jackson, lost DeLon Wright, and then that's really it. They lost some JJ Bareas and things like that. But so essentially, they gained Richardson, which is a big guard pickup, and then they signed a wing. But they lost Seth, Justin Jackson, one of their kids, and DeLon Wright. I don't know.
I'm going to say they got worse, bro. Because Seth was really coming into his own. And he was providing for them. They needed that. And losing him, you're going to have instant offense to replace it if you want to get better. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't think they got better.
They're going to be a better team this year, but that's just because of growth.
Yeah.
In general, though, especially in a free agency that had a lot of – not going to say it had a lot of great talent, but it had a lot of good depth pieces. If they would have picked up like a Baca type, or they would have picked up, one of those role players that were all in the market this year, it would have done something. And I don't know how I feel about Josh Richardson. He's proven to me he can get buckets on a bad team, and he's somewhat there defensively. James Johnson, I don't really value as much. But Seth Curry came up big for them in the playoffs. I don't know. I think I'm with you. They got worse. I mean, as far as free agency goes, this wasn't their year. This wasn't a great year. Yeah, for sure not. Another team. They kept saying these West teams are gonna get better. Jesse, I almost called you Jesse. My fault. you said a different person on this channel sometimes. Yeah, where is Jesse? Is always the real question. Shout out to that guy who commented that one time. But so another team that people swore, was gonna be the next ones, and they brought us to the Western Conference Finals. Denver Nuggets. They lost Mason Plumlee, Torrey Craig, Jeremy Grant, Noah Vonleh, the GOAT himself, Troy Daniels, layup.
They lost layup?
They lost. Layup's not there. Right? I think layup's unsigned. He's unsigned. Do you want to get him back on the team?
Nah, I'm good.
Nah, you good? And then they only really gained JaMychal Green, and RJ Hampton is a notable pick, but I don't know, bro. That's trying to be real. From going to the Western Conference to losing one of the people that were your key pieces, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee.
Where'd Jeremy Grant go?
Pistons.
Pistons? Everybody going to – Pistons?
Everybody going to the East Coast now, bro. Everybody getting away from Bron.
Interesting. That's probably just where the bread at.
I think for sure, bro, they got worse.
Bro, who got Daniel House? That's all I need to know.
He's still in the Rockets.
He's on the Rockets. They lucky.
You like Daniel House?
Huh?
You like Daniel House on the squad?
I mean, on our squad?
Yeah. You can use him. I'll take a Daniel House.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, he was kind of positionless. You know, pause.
Yeah. Facts.
But yeah, what do you think? Nuggets got worse or better?
They got worse, bro.
Okay, the same page, man. I'm kind of. Oh wait, that was a big free agent. Maybe that's the one sleeping. They signed an overseas guy. His name is. I'm gonna butcher this. Facundo Campazzo from Madrid. This guy is apparently the truth. And
I ain't
these European people, these European players been taking over, bro. And Bogdanovich came into the league at 22 from an overseas team. This might be another situation. So we might have to reserve judgment until we see what this guy's capable of.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it's one of those. It might be one of those instances. So we'll see.
But even so, bro, even if he turns out to be a great player, I don't think it makes up for what they lost in totality because Plumlee, Grant.
Grant was huge, man. And Plumlee played some big minutes for them.
Yeah.
I wonder if
That's
they're
what I'm saying.
maybe they're trying to get room for Bol for Grant. It definitely might be room for Michael Porter.
Bol, I forgot about Bol. He was type A a little bit.
So
Let's see what they do. Their coach got to be like that.
yeah, we should probably have a reserve judgment type of option.
Mm-hmm.
But something that we can judge right away, Detroit Pistons. They were active and they might have gave money to the wrong people, it seems sometimes. But activity is something, right? They acquired DeLon Wright. They acquired Dwayne Dedman, who I think we were kind of confusing with Dotson. At least I was in my head. I know Dotson was the Knicks guy, but Dwayne Dedman was somebody I had in my head. Zaire Smith, who was a Philadelphia pick from last year. I don't think he ever got to play much, but he's a young guy dealing with injuries. Maybe he can actually get it together. And they signed Mason Plumlee, Jahlil Okafor, Jeremy Grant, and then Josh Jackson, who I'm still interested in Josh Jackson. I don't know if you remember him. He was the pick of the Phoenix Suns in the same class as Lonzo.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's type like that.
Yeah. I'm interested. Honestly, the Pistons tried. I mean, they did lose a few people. They lost Luke Kennard. They lost Langston Galloway. They lost – no, don't tell me that. Svi Mikhailiuk. It says they lost him. I wonder if he's
Rose resigned?
Rose he was there already. So his year
it was trade rumors, right?
Yeah, he was there regardless. But the big one they lost was Christian Wood. I don't know how they let him walk away and kept Mason Plumlee. I want to give him an L just for that. But besides that, I mean, Jeremy Grant is a great pickup.
Yeah, I'll give him an improvement. Nah, they improved, I would say.
It's not by much, but
it's almost like they just leveled out, kind of, because you lost Luke Kennard, got Grant, you know what I'm saying? It kind of just leveled itself out a little bit. I don't even know if I can say it's an improvement, but they might have been stagnant.
Yeah, you honestly might be right. I mean, they could have definitely found a better middle ground. If they would have kept Christian Wood, get Grant, keep Kennard, and then get Josh Jackson, like they could have some of those things that they kind of just exchanged. If they would have kept that and then upped on their return, they might have been all right. But yeah, he might be onto something, bro. I don't know how I'm feeling. They might have got worse. I think they gave their money to the wrong people.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there was any competition to begin with.
Well, speaking of competition, they were competition for us for a long time when we weren't even competing. Golden State Warriors. Really, the only move they were able to make was Kelly Oubre, and then they also got Kent Bazemore, which is a pretty big pickup. And they only lost Dragon Bender. Now, they did lose Clay, so, that's its own thing. But as far as free agency and, this offseason, they also got James Wiseman. You got to say they got better, right?
Sheesh. They got a rookie. Let's keep that in mind. Who doesn't – I have a reserve judgment about Wiseman, so I can't really speak to him.
I know you don't like him because you thought Bet Ball was supposed to be ahead of him.
It's not that I don't like him. It's I'm not fond of his attitude. Like, I wouldn't want that on my team. And it's like he's extremely talented. Like, there's no denying that. But it's like the type of mentality that you would want a professional athlete for your team to have, it's like he don't really have that. And he already expressed, like, if he had the opportunity to play football,
that's Anthony Edwards.
Edit point. You lying.
Yeah, bro, it's Anthony Edwards. That's the
first pick. That was the
number one pick.
I'm not fond of his attitude. Like, I wouldn't want that on my team. And it's like he's extremely talented. Like, there's no denying that. But it's like the type of mentality that you would want a professional athlete for your team to have. It's like he don't really have that. And he already expressed, like, if he I was the first pick. All right, that's an edit point. But all right. So basically, how I feel about Wiseman is like,
I'll keep that in there.
what's the timestamp on this, John? What's that? What is that? So basically, Wiseman, bro, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's not a great Clay replacement. That's why I felt like they folded. They had the opportunity to get Melo Ball. I was like, they should, even if they had Clay coming back, get LaMelo Ball. Bro, you had the chance. So why? That's so stupid to pass up on him.
I want to take a minute and talk about this real quick. As the offseason goes, they got better, of course. Like, Klay Thompson wasn't a part of their offseason. That just was something that ended up happening. So, and either way, to improve off of last year isn't asking for much. So they did get better. That's for a fact. But I get what you're saying, especially, like, I thought about that right after, too. Like, they had to have an idea of the Klay Thompson injury. They had to have it. Like, they had more of an inkling than we did. We just read reports. We can't make anything out of it. So getting Wiseman might have been a questionable move. But I don't know. Maybe Wiseman is more of a need long-term, but LaMelo Ball would be more of a need now. So it's like, what would you go with?
And long-term. Are you kidding me?
They don't need another guard, though. They have two franchise guards because they got two of them. Unless you move one of them to three.
A wing player. You can't just – he's not even a guard. Clay's not a guard.
He can guard wings. So maybe. I mean, everything is positionless at this point. So possibly. But it's hard for me. In general, I'm not a big fan of drafting any bigs, especially a big with his skill set.
I mean, when you need it.
When you need it, sure. But in general, the skill set of a actual big, a 7-footer, the worth of that is kind of depleting.
Porzingis.
You have some unicorns here and there, but is James Wiseman that unicorn? I don't think so. I haven't seen anything that really stuck out. I want to see how DeAndre Ayton's looking pretty good. I want to see how he overall pans out. I feel like he might just get capped out at a certain point.
No, these big men type here, bro. Joel Embiid. The Sixers had a formula with drafting big men.
And all of them failed except Joel Embiid.
Well, for them, who else they drafted?
Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor.
Nerlens Noel's on the Knicks now. Jahlil Okafor, he's on.
I mentioned where he just got signed to. I forgot what it was. It might have been Pistons.
Pistons?
But either way, to get him as a second pick, like that's Jahlil Okafor was drafted second.
I guess. I would be hyped if he was on our team. Not going front.
I would have been hyped with Nerlens Noel. I like Nerlens.
Either one of them, to be honest.
You just want another setting.
Just having a big man is valuable, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? People don't really put that much emphasis on it.
Because you can just play them off the court so easily nowadays, bro. That's the problem.
I disagree, bro. I disagree. Especially when you have a talented one. And they're getting more talented as the years come by, so.
We'll see. And I think that's why Dwight Howard was kind of able to make a little bit of a revival this year because of that value that we've seen, like, against Jokic and things like that. You know what I mean? Like,
he's a big man, bro. There's a lot more big men who are talented, like.
So we're going to see. We definitely need more hybrids of big men as of now. Like, the way, like, that's the ones that are going to get drafted higher, the hybrids. The Karl-Anthony Towns can shoot from 30 feet out. Like, that's crazy. And that's what it comes down to. So we'll see. I don't know if I see that in James Wiseman.
Within like 10 years, bro, not even 10, probably like 5-10 years, the best players in the NBA are probably going to be big men, bro. If you look at just the way it's trending, like, big men who can shoot are pretty much almost unstoppable. Like,
yeah, I understand. I mean, even the Bam is a hybrid to his own way.
Yeah, and it's sort of, but it really started with KD because he's built like a center kind of, but he plays like a guard, and I feel like a lot of big men seen that. It was like, yo, and Porzingis comes out, and there was always like people in the past like Dirk and Garnett who was able to shoot, but now they're like incorporating handles and just becoming almost like guards.
Well, you know, Anthony Davis actually started in high school as a guard.
Word?
So, yeah.
A guard.
A guard, bro. Yeah. If
How
they did, what happened?
How tall was he?
What was he, 6'1"? What they used to say, bro? They kill me. It's a 6'1" guard, and he grew in his senior year or whatever, bro. Bro, every year.
That makes sense, bro. That explains it.
We're gonna have to hear that for the rest of his tenure on the Lakers, right?
Bro, even when he retires, bro, we're gonna be hearing about it, bro. Anytime people talk about Anthony Davis and analyze his John, they're gonna be talking about, well, he was a guard in high school.
It all makes sense. we spoke about it last time on Fair. He would have been the worst point guard ever, bro. I'm not hearing it. Terrible point guard. To move, ironically, to a team that's having a whole bunch of issues with their guards, the Houston Rockets. Did they get better?
I'm just going to say they got way worse, bro. I don't care whatever move they make right now. The only move they can make to get better is if they trade James Harden for some heat, some heatery. I'm talking about stars. Like, they need players. If they're going to replace – if they don't trade them and they keep their roster as it is to start off the season, they're already worse. Chemistry is terrible. James Harden is going on the court and he's going for 60 every night. He don't care about winning. He don't even want to be on his team. Westbrook, same thing. They might even sit out games like, oh, my ankle hurt. I don't even want to play.
Bro, this team for sure got worse. I mean, as far as free agency goes, they did what they could. They lost a bunch of people. It looks like they gave up on their formula, which I get it. I definitely get it. They picked up Christian Wood, who I'm a big fan of, and then they stole Boogie Cousins. I cannot believe this. I don't know what is going on. I thought Boogie was a shoo-in for the Lakers.
I want fade, bro. Not gonna lie, I want fade.
And they're gonna waste him on a team that don't even want to win. It's gonna hurt, but I hope Boogie plays great and gets his contract. That's what I'm.
Plays great, but then that's not even. I don't think that's a great pickup for anybody but us. So
we could have had him playing great and win a ring.
Yeah, I feel like anybody scooping Boogie right now is only gonna do him not justice. So.
They lost Covington. They lost Gerald Green. They lost Jeff Green. They lost Austin Rivers, Thabo Sefolosha, Damari Carroll, Tyson Chandler. Their whole squad is gone. Let me see how many people are staying. They have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. They got Gordon still. They got Tucker still.
I know he's not too happy though.
Yeah, let's see. I wonder if that's the thing, bro. Like, they requested a trade, and Rockets were like, we'll get to it. It's on our agenda.
OD.
Like they said,
nobody, bro.
So I don't even know, man. Is that going to be like a trade deadline thing, or?
Yeah.
Are they just going to have them stay there and just say, "Hey, you're here now. Welcome to prison"? Like,
before it came out, said they're ready to get uncomfortable.
That's a fire statement.
That's
like,
not fire.
Having a statement like, nah, yeah. Like, imagine Chris Haynes hitting the front office and like, hey, like, what's the idea with moving Harden? They're just like, we're ready to get uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
It is what it is. Bro, because I could imagine, bro, they're just tired of it because now they're hearing everybody just wants out. They're like, yo, like, what did we do wrong? Like, so now just like, you know what? I don't care. Y'all signed this contract. We don't have to trade y'all for nothing. It is what it is. We can be uncomfortable if y'all want.
It's fire. It really is fire. And what sucks is, bro, and I'm not rooting for the Rockets by any means, but they got rid of Morey. They got rid of their coach. If there's any time to give somebody a new leaf, like, this is the real, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't get why they want out so bad now.
It's not
it
like
up for them if they really like, if they signed in for it, bro, and really connected with it. It was like, yeah, we all in for this season. They probably could have did something this offseason. Think about it, like,
bro. What it feels like to me, bro, is like, so you live in a house with a roommate, right? Your roommate was terrible to the point where you're like, all right, bro, I'm moving out. And then all of a sudden your roommate dips. And then you get a new roommate who, like, they cool. Like, you can't get an impression of them yet. And now you're like, screw this, I'm still out. Like, what are you out for at this point? I thought you were mad about your roommate. Do you just not want to be here?
Nice.
So, I don't know. I thought Harden loved Houston.
I thought he did too. Maybe it's too high. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe you think maybe a strip club pass is getting revoked? You think maybe since he's like a frequent flyer, they're like, yo, you already here? Like, he don't get none of the strip clubs are going through it right now. You heard what?
I heard the strip clubs are going through it right now.
But no, that's why I think Harden should have been traded to the Atlanta Hawks. Magic City is COVID free.
Yeah, apparently.
I think they got the cure. Whatever's going on in Atlanta, bro. I seen the Gucci and Jeezy verses, and nobody had a mask. They might have the cure.
They might have it, bro.
I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Houston got worse. I cannot wait to see them fold.
No.
Woj just tweeted, but it's about nothing. So the next team is the Indiana Pacers. Wow, talk about a team I haven't heard nothing about. Drafted Cassie Stanley,
worse.
whoever that is, and they had just it literally says free agent signed, and it just has the hyphen. They didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything.
By proxy, you get worse. I'm sorry. All right, let's skip to the next team, and this is going to be the interesting one. What happened?
Where's Depot at?
He's still there. He's last year of the contract. We'll see. Clippers is the next team. Hey, they did some things. Luke Kennard, they acquired by trade. They signed Serge, but then they lost Landry Shamet. They lost Montrezl Harrell. They lost Reggie Jackson that they could still sign. And then they lost Rodney Magruder, and I think that's just it. Oh wait, no, they don't have a few people that left. They don't have JaMychal Green, who also left as well. You want to have the honest conversation?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it,
bro. This is a hard one. It's hard to say because, all right, they got Serge. That's a big move.
It's big. Kennard's a big move too, not for nothing.
Kennard is a big move, but then think about what they're losing. That's like Serge. Would you rather have Serge or Harrell?
It depends on fit. Apparently, they weren't even interested in Harrell. They didn't even offer a deal. So it's clear that they wanted Serge. It's not like they lost Harrell in their eyes. They gained Serge. So maybe for them that's a plus. And I don't know if it's better than Harrell. I think what happened is the honest situation is they traded for Marcus Morris. They couldn't keep Marcus and Harrell. So they had to make the decision of who do we stick with, Marcus or Harrell. Marcus spreads the floor, and also we just gave up assets for him. We gave up a few picks for him and one of our key wings. So we can't do all that to not do anything with him. We can't do that to get a 5-month rental. So now they had to keep Morris, which means by proxy they had to get rid of Harrell, and now they got Ibaka. So if you want me to be real, I think the Clippers are a worse team than last year.
You think so, bro?
I maybe it's Laker bias. I think
I'm looking at it, bro. If they start Serge at the
it will be. I would
center,
assume. Yeah, I would assume.
At the center position.
If you I do say though, if you start Serge at the center, Zubac becomes useless. Zubac off the bench is useless.
I know that's fair.
He was the JaVale McGee in an aspect of we're gonna play you 15 minutes a game, all game, and that's all you're gonna get. You'll be there for tip. You remember when we played the Clippers and Zubac was in there for 2 minutes, and then they threw in the start of the game and they threw him out of there. They got Lou Will back in 2 seconds.
Word. My thing is, bro, it's good for the Clippers. I think the Clippers got better, bro. But then against on some Lakers stuff, to us, not really, because, yes, they got Serge, but then we also have Anthony Davis and always had Anthony Davis. So that doesn't really mean anything to us. But I don't know. Luke Kennard for Landry Shamet is an upgrade.
It is, but even Landry wasn't getting many minutes. So, I mean, Luke probably got more minutes hiding. But also, bro, they didn't get a point guard. As far as right now, they did not get a point guard. And if they do, it's going to be Reggie Jackson again. That was what they needed. They needed a playmaker. Kawhi Leonard is not a playmaker. Neither is PG. They still have no playmaker. For that alone, you lose a little bit in free agency.
Yeah. And then their mascot, Pat Bev, he don't really do nothing for them that much either. So.
And, yeah, his value, I feel like, is only going down as he does get older. So, and Lou Will's value has been going down as of late too. I feel like he was exposed most of last year. So I think they got worse. But to be fair, I think they're still going to be the second seed because I think the Nuggets got worse. I think the Clippers got worse. Jazz didn't do much. So their spot is still going to be secured. What happened?
Paul George going to be on his revenge season.
Yeah, I can't wait for the 13% in the playoffs again. He's going to be very, very, very nice. It's going to be nice when we play him. I hope we get to smack him this year. I really do. Talked about the Lakers already. The Grizzlies. They acquired the LeBron stopper and Mario Hezonja. And that's really all they did. They lost Josh Jackson, and that's about it. I'm going to be real. Because the West got better, you got worse. They got worse.
I'm going to be real. Off the strength of Mario, you improve.
They get a plus? Yeah, bro. LeBron's going to be shut down every Grizzlies game now. So I'm rooting for Ja. I just think right now I don't see them getting the chance to go back to the playoffs. They had that chance this season. Their chance is done. This is going to be a controversial one. I think we might be split on here. But Miami Heat. So they lost a few people. They lost Jay Crowder being the main one, Solomon Hill, DJJ, Derek Jones Jr. They gained Maurice Harkless, Avery Bradley. What are you thinking for the Miami Heat?
Believe it or not, I think they got better.
That's where I stand. I think Maurice Harkless is a great pickup. He kind of replaces Jay Crowder, but like not really. Jay Crowder was a very solid person, but what you lose in Jay Crowder, you get a little bit in Avery Bradley as well. But I think I think they're going to be a better team overall in general. They're not going to be no 5th seed next year or whatever they was. You're going to have to look out for them. They might be right back to where they were a few months ago.
They're definitely going to be competing in the playoffs, say that much.
Yeah, I don't think a team wants to see Miami Heat. But to be fair, I don't think they got, like, undoubtedly better. This wasn't their offseason to get better, though, either. It's next offseason.
No, yeah, it's definitely offseason for them. But then just off of finals experience, I'm pretty sure they improved basketball-wise. Like, Tyler Hero probably has, like, an increased confidence now. And he's going to be dangerous coming into this year, so –
especially if Kuzma's on the other side of the court. He's going to be lighting him up. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, man. The fake contenders of last year that we kept hearing about, all to lose in 5 games to the Miami Heat. They gained Drew Holiday, acquired DJ Augustine, Bobby Portis, a few other people, Torrey Craig. They lost Eric Bledsoe. They lost George Hill. They lost Ilyasova. They lost Wesley Matthews. Kyle Korver is still floating around. We don't know if he comes back. It looks like they lost Robin Lopez as well. What are we thinking about Milwaukee Bucks? I can tell you what I think. I think this is going to be a better team next year. Drew Holiday alone.
Yeah, bro. I was going to agree with you just now until I just heard the list of people they lost and potentially losing. I'm saying, like, they just lost a lot, bro, and offered Drew. And, bro, Drew is, like, top-tier point guard. I'm not even going front. Like, I would scoop him on our team, but, I mean, he's only going to play so many minutes, bro. Once he got off the bench, then Augustine's
not bad, man. Augustine is not bad. Bobby Portis could be good in small roles. Torrey Craig, same thing. The thing with this is, first of all, I think Eric Bledsoe wasn't a great fit for that team at all. I think Drew Holiday is a way better fit. George Hill was there, you know what I mean? There's nothing that he can do that DJ Augustine really can't. Wesley Matthews is a loss, sure. And they probably should have got another shooter. But in all reality, where I stand with Milwaukee Bucks is they did the move that got them over the edge, and that move was kind of revoked. Bogdan said, get out of here. If that would have been solidified, I would have been scared of Milwaukee next year. I would have been like, all right, bro, I got my eyes on Milwaukee and Nets, and that's it. The problem is that move did not go through. So I remember getting CP3 for 2 hours, so I don't feel bad. I'm not too worried about Milwaukee.
All right, but, bro, their defense was always fine. I think adding Drew increases their defense, but their defense was always fine. And, like, if anything, they need more perimeter scoring. So that's why if they had got Bogdan, that would have been crazy. But
They
they
should have got
didn't.
another shooter. Yeah, and maybe there's still times to fill in the little crevices, but they definitely need another shooter.
Yeah, like free agency is only like 98% done. There's still like a little stragglers just probably gonna get reeled in, but I don't see improvement. Like they lost a lot and they gained Drew.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you for sure. Timberwolves. They did a few moves. They got Ricky Rubio again. They signed Anthony Edwards, which was the guy you were referring to as. I don't know.
What you talking
He
about?
just Anthony Anthony Edwards, the guy who isn't that passionate about basketball, but nevertheless was a number
I don't
one
refer
pick.
to him.
What happened?
I don't refer to him.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody ever heard that.
All right.
But yeah, man, how we feel about the Timberwolves? They ain't lose much. They lost James Johnson, Alan Crabb, Evan Turner, and
Nah, they got better, bro.
they got better for sure. They're gonna be fighting for that 8th seed.
For sure. They here. And they're going to be on the – y'all look out for them, bro, because I feel like we haven't really seen just what the potential of D'Lo and Cat could be. And now they got a couple extra pieces coming in, too. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the fit of that. We didn't get to see D'Lo and Cat play too much, so I'm excited to see a full season of that. Pelicans is next up. They got Bledsoe. They got George Hill. They got Steven Adams. They got Willie Hernan-Gomez. They lost Drew Holiday. They lost Jahlil Okafor. Derek Favors went back to Jazz. But that's really it. I think they got better. I think they're another team that's going to be fighting for that 8th seed. The Steven Adams moves, I question just a little bit because that spacing is going to be god-awful. Not to mention you got Eric Bledsoe coming off the bench. It's going to ruin your spacing even more, or maybe he starts. I don't know. I really hope with all these point guards I'm seeing on their roster, including I think they drafted a point guard as well. I really hope Lonzo Ball, he's a free agent after next year. I hope he comes right back home. I'll mid-level accept his ass in 2 seconds.
Facts.
So we'll see. But they got better, but I don't think by much.
Not by much, bro. I like the Steven Adams move. Lost Drew, but they gained other pieces. I mean, they're fine, bro. A lot of young talent. I'm not really too worried about their spacing because Zion works in traffic. Ingram works in traffic. Lonzo creates space.
Wow. I didn't even think about that, bro. Ingram's not the best shooter either. The spacing is going to be, it's going to be awful, but they'll make it work, I'm sure. They'll try to at least. So Lonzo's going to have a bunch of wide open threes. I'll tell you that much. Let's see if he can make them. All right, so the Knicks. What do we think about the New York Knickerbockers, man? Gain Ed Davis by trade, if they still have him. I think they might have traded him back by now.
Yeah, they traded him back, I think.
Traded him back, right? Obi Toppin, Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, Austin Rivers.
Hey, man, I must say, New York, good job. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't offer a stupid contract to anybody. Can you believe it?
Yeah, actually doing, you know what I'm saying, not trash. It's not like y'all still terrible, but it's not like previous years. Like this is an improvement for y'all, I guess. Like
they got much better.
Yeah, pretty much, I guess. Yeah.
They got I don't know, man. This franchise is awful. I feel like talking about it just makes my brain hurt.
I feel like I was talking about a college team or something.
Yeah, they probably would lose to most college teams if we want to be real. But OKC. This is a real question. They got Horford now. They lost Paul. They got Trevor Ariza if he's still there. He might be back in the Rockets by now. Trevor Ariza bounced around like 5 times in this offseason. Ty Jerome, whoever that is. Yeah, I don't know. They got worse. Let's keep
They
it
got
real.
worse,
But
bro.
it was part of the plan.
Yeah, they're thinking about the future, bro. They're living in 2030 right now. No cap.
Legitimately. Orlando Magic, another team. They got Cole Anthony, that was their draft pick. They lost also a wing with Wes Iwundu and lost DJ Augustine, and they didn't gain nobody. They gained Dwayne Bacon. Like I said, this team's not gonna make the playoffs next year.
They got better though. They lost Augustine.
Okay, you're an Augustine hater. I see it now.
Nah.
I'm just saying. Philadelphia Sixers, they lost automatically because they got Danny Green. No, legitimately, Sixers got better. Danny Green, Ferguson, Seth Curry, Tony Bradley. They gained Dwight Howard. They lost Horford, which is kind of like a win by loss thing, win by subtraction. Lost Josh Richardson, but, the cost of some trades here and there. They got better. They might be a team next year.
Who knows?
We'll see if we got to watch out for them. A team that got better by a lot, and I feel like we could speed through some of these. Phoenix Suns gained CP3, gained Jay Crowder, Etwan Moore. They lost Ricky Rubio. They lost Kelly Oubre, but, that's the cost of getting CP3. I think this is going to be on the verge of a playoff berth next year for sure.
I hope so. I like the way the Suns is looking right now. It will be interesting if we can compete with them in the playoffs.
Yeah, they also lost Aaron Baines, I forgot to mention, but we'll see. We'll see. Portland Trailblazers. This is the team that I think can surprise everyone next year and come in at like number 2 seed. Legitimately. Number 2, number 3. They got Robert Covington, Enes Kanter back, Derek Jones Jr., Harry Giles III, which I like a lot. They lost Trevor Ariza, but he didn't really play much. Mario Hezonja didn't really play much.
Giles from the Cavaliers?
From the Kings. I don't know who you're referring to.
Did you play on the Cavaliers before?
I don't remember him on the Cavs.
He's a little tough. He's like a 3, right?
No.
He's big man?
He's a center.
Oh yeah, he's not the same guy.
I'm trying to think here for my team. Yeah, no. But yeah, they got a few good pieces. Robert Covington is a great piece for this squad. Enes Kanter coming back. When he was there, he averaged 12 and 8. So that's good productivity. Derek Jones Jr. That's great athleticism. This is a team to look out for.
2 spot is a bold prediction.
I think they'll be.
We scraped
Nuggets, barring any injuries. How about this? They'll be above Clippers.
I would love to see that. I would love to see the Clippers at like a 5th seed, 4th seed.
That'll make my heart so happy.
I'm so happy, bro. That would be great. And it might happen, but I don't know. I don't even think as a whole the West really improved that much, except for like us.
Well, we'll see. The Kings is another team. They got a good pick with Tyrese Halliburton. They had a pretty good draft in general, but they didn't sign anybody. They're most likely going to lose Bogdanovich. I don't think they wanted him to begin with. They lost Harry Giles, lost Alex Len. This team is Luke Walton. Yep. Skip. San Antonio Spurs, another team that did a lot of nothing. Get worse, especially with the aging. We'll skip. Toronto Raptors got Aaron Baines, lost Marc Gasol, lost Ibaka. They did re-sign Fred VanVleet. I'm going to be honest. I think Raptors, their window is closing again, and they got to do something. They're going to have to figure something out unless Siakam takes another step up, but Kyle Lowry's only getting older. Yeah, Fred VanVleet.
Losing Ibaka was the big one.
And I love Fred VanVleet. He earned that contract, but I don't know if he's worth that contract.
I mean, he's tough, and like you said, he earned it. He earned that. But
I don't know if he's worth it though.
Looking ahead to the future, then yeah, I mean, we'll see though.
Utah Jazz, again, these are teams that were supposed to be competition. They didn't do the steps they needed to do. They gained Derek Favors, who they just had 2 years ago. They're going with the same chick again, bro. Like,
that's type good for him a little bit.
Sure. Like it's not looking good. It's not looking good. They might just get better by aging, but I don't see Jazz getting much better. The Wizards, another team, they gained Robin Lopez and did nothing else.
Skip.
That's about it. Yeah, skip, exactly. And that was our final one. So overall, let's ask this final question and get the hell out of here. Who is our competition?
Unless there's like some real surprises in the West, I'm looking ahead to the finals right now. Like, I'm looking at teams in the East as potential threats: Nets, Bucks, Heat, of course, because they were just there. Sixers. Like, those are the teams to look out for. In the West, there might be some surprises. Clippers are going.
We're smoking the Nuggets again. Smoking the Nuggets. I like the Blazers, but we're gonna beat them again. Clippers are gonna be competition because they fit against us really nice.
They're gonna be competition, bro. But there was more competition last year, and we just got better. And now, just like looking at our rosters compared to theirs, it's just like, bro, like honestly, I don't even care if we lost every game against them in the regular season. Like it's not gonna hit the same way it hit last year. First of all, we just won a championship, so you know what I'm saying. And then like when it comes down to it in the playoffs, Frank knows what he's doing. Bron knows what he's doing. AD knows what he's doing. On that side, I'm not too sure they know what they're doing. They got the stuff figured out. They couldn't get past Nikola Jokic, so they could barely get past Luka, bro. When you really think about it, bro, they're really folding.
If they face Mavs again this year, they're gonna be in trouble.
They're in trouble, bro. If they face anybody healthy, if they face the Trailblazers, which is very possible to happen, I hope it happens.
Dame is lighting Beverly up bad.
Badly. It's gonna be a real bad night.
Especially a Covington and Kawhi or PG matchup. It brings them down just a tad bit, man.
Once again, they might get handled before we even see them. So,
Lakers, chip us. Now, I do want to get to the last thing. 2 roster spots open. Where should we go? What should we get? I can cover a few off the top of my head, free agents. As far as center goes, I got my eye, if you want me to be real, on one person and one person only, and I don't think we can afford him. I want to know what's the price range on Hassan Whiteside, because nobody has money anymore, but he still is a free agent.
That's interesting.
If Bull wants a ring and he's willing to accept a role where some days you might play 18 minutes, maybe even 25, but some nights you might get a DNP, come to the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll treat you good.
At home.
I don't know if he has another – he might have one more big check left in him as far as what he can get out there. Some team might be able to give him a mid-level exception. But he's also made a few big checks. He made one really big check, and maybe he's like, you know what, screw it. Let me go chase a ring right now. Where's all the ring chasers at? That's what
I'm saying, bro.
For the Warriors, bro, everybody was just, what? Ring? Like, where are they all at?
I don't know what happened, bro. But all I know is, well, I feel like a lot of the people, we got rings, and then they just dipped. But, if we got Whiteside, bro, that would make me feel so just.
I need a backup center, man.
Yeah, bro. And if he was a backup center, bro, that's tough.
Let me see if there's any other options. We also, I heard we're looking for another guard. I don't know if I'm pressed about a guard. I might want another wing, but there's really no wings out there. It's really, really tough.
I just want one center to get added, bro. That's it. One center.
Yeah, that would be the real easing one. And I want Dudley back on the team at all costs.
At all costs.
So if that means sacrificing another PG, which I feel like we're fine at that position. I'm looking up centers right now. This is the thinnest thing in the world, man. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure Dudley's spot is reserved, but they got to figure out the money situation first. He's probably going to be like the last sign. And like Dudley,
Joakim Noah might be available still. Maybe we can do that. And I don't know. It's not much. How about the idea? And I'm not even thinking he plays. Maybe plays like legit like a few minutes at most, like a Quinn Cook role. Pau Gasol, he's 40 years old. Don't get me wrong, but he's not retired.
He's not retired.
Not retired. I think it was a San Antonio Spurs last year.
So is he on a roster or?
No, he's a free agent. I kind of want to put him in a duds role if we don't re-sign duds, if you want me to be real.
Honestly, I'd rather just keep everything the way it is. I like having his brother on the team.
Just retire his jersey?
Yeah, let's just retire his jersey. I hope he could just retire this year, pull up to our games. He could be a fan. That would be great. When you're working for the team, it's different, bro. Like, it's now you're an employee. Now it's just like, but when you could be a fan of the team, when you could really be honored by the Lakers and you're not playing for somebody else or playing for us because we can't really like honor you and all that while you're on the team. Like you're
Mhm.
still playing for the team.
Yeah.
So if he could if that's ideal for me. But
I'll
who
give him
knows?
a coaching role. I'll find a coaching role for him.
Anything like that, bro. Anything like that.
I want him part of the team. I miss Powell, man. I really do.
Right.
And they said they're looking for guards. The only guard that's really out there is like Moutier, who I really wouldn't mind. He's defensive minded, can hit a 3-ball occasionally. I wouldn't mind Moutier. And then there's also Reggie Jackson floating around.
I like Moutier.
I just wonder a little bit about Reggie Jackson. He at one point was a 20-point scorer for like a month straight for the Detroit Pistons. Why is he floating around? I wonder.
Because he didn't play for the Lakers. If he had signed to us like he should have done in the first place, he would have, bro, somebody would have paid him by now, bro. That's what we do. But he went to the trash Clippers, didn't get played properly, and now look.
That is what it is, bro. I do want to thank the Clippers, though. They're doing good work. I didn't know this. I don't know if you knew this, but Markieff and Marcus share a bank account. So they paid Marcus $64 million, and they gave Markieff $32 million.
You're lying. No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They got a joint bank account.
Why?
There was a report that came out about that. Do you remember the tweet I sent you that, wouldn't this 64 double up? You know what I mean? He was talking – bro.
Why, though?
I don't know, but thank you, thank you, Steve.
Paying my son.
Because for that, we were able to get Markieff at the minimum.
Nah, facts. That's crazy.
The joint bank account, baby. We did it. So thank you, Steve. I just want to thank everybody for such a successful offseason. I want to thank Steve, number 2. I got to put Rob number 1. Actually, I got to put Steve number 3. I got to put Rich Paul number 1, Rob number 2, Steve number 3, LeBron James number 4, KCP. You know what? You're number 1, man.
KCP has to be, bro.
With that being said, thank you so much for watching as always. But if I don't see you, have a good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yo.
Tell me you don't like this. I put money in your pockets, make them jeans a tight fit. I know I ain't good for you, but we all got vices. I told Shorty keep a distance cause coronavirus. Ayy, let me stop playing. Why you smile and smack your grin off with a